Hello everyone, welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. Let's talk about how to love yourself more, okay? Especially in December when a lot of people are down. In between the holidays, this is the highest time of suicide rate, if you didn't know. Financially, it can ruin you if you don't have yourself under control. Well, yes, definitely about finances sometimes. It can also ruin you, for other reasons, if you have strained relationships, if you have with yourself, strained relationships with yourself, strained relationships with the spiritual, with the people around you, friends, family, work. All of it can be very stressful, right? So how can you love yourself more? Especially at this time of year when there is darkness in the physical world, there is more darkness. We have less vitamin D that affects our mental health. It affects neurochemicals. It affects our sleep, which also affects neurochemicals. There are a million ways that things are more stressful this time of year. Is there anything else on how to love yourself more right now, this time of year? At the bottom of the deck, we have the card of perseverance, using your creativity, defending yourself if necessary, but also using your creativity to defend yourself. And then we have new beginnings, leaving behind the past in order to find that path towards growth and spirituality, letting go of the baggage, being loyal to yourself, letting go of the baggage, almost allowing yourself to be young again, naive again. Okay? Clarify the Hangman and the Ten of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Hangman and the Ten of Pentacles. Clarify the Six of Wands. Okay. Well, how can you love yourself more? That's just sorting itself out. That was too many cards. Queen of Pentacles. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. How can they nurture their health to love themselves more? Oh. That is just like, okay. Wow. And the Ace of Cups, self-love. Self-love. New beginning, potential new beginning. And the Ace of Cups there. Okay. So, the Hangman and the Ten of Pentacles. This is talking about really looking at what brings you good health, good mental health, what brings you stability for the long term. Thinking about that and changing the way that you're thinking about it. Getting rid of the old thought patterns so that you can have long-term health, long-term stability, so that you can have the things that you want for yourself and for your family down the line, the things that you want to leave behind to others. Really brainstorming that, using your intuition, looking at how you can open up that doorway. So see the High Priestess here. See that? I don't know if I can make that clear. So see that scene there is the scene in the Empress. So how can you nurture those ideas? How can you nurture those beliefs? Using your intuition to open up those ideas, to figure out those ideas, to find that doorway. You're on that path. You're needing to brainstorm new ideas and be creative in how to do this and how to have that long-term self-love, that long-term stability, the long-term health. How are you going to get that peaceful valley with the waterfall, with the green mountains, the abundant wheat, the roses? How are you going to get that in your life where you don't have to, look at her, she looks carefree. Okay, this is also, I forget the Roman goddess's name. It's tied with Virgo, yes, but the goddess is also tied with Virgo. Something with a D. She's like the symbol for Libra, like the balance, the justice, but she also has like a wheat shaft in her hand. So you can look it up if you want, but it's okay. So there's, on her crown, there's the city, there's the castle, which is, the home. It's the stability, the strength. It's where the dreams come true. That's the symbolization of the castle. So where is there this tendency to overguard or overreact to financial matters, or to overreact to people threatening you? Where is this tendency to guard your creativity and not let it flow? You really need to look at that. Now this talks about the Six of Wands. It talks about having a victory in the way that you define victory, right? It talks about having this this healthy lifestyle that you want, where you love everything, you love yourself, you love your body. There's there's something. It also talks about fame and fortune, but there's something here with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse about people pleasing and people trying to influence you to get you to change your mind. So there's like mistrust. Sometimes it talks about unemployment, but it's more, you want to preserve your resources, not give too much and not be too people pleasing when you're looking for this victory, because people are really, really trying to influence you to do things that are risky. They may even be trying to buy you off. And you want to look at where you're selling yourself short, or where they are selling you short and your strengths short. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So there is this imbalance. Interesting. So there's this imbalance of strength, this imbalance of power going on here, an imbalance of knowledge. And there could be a couple who are doing it. There could be a couple. Ten of Swords says you're looking at where your thoughts were setting up a boundary line and keeping you down. Your thoughts were sort of like the boundaries, and you're thinking, you're looking at that and you're moving past that and you're healing from that and you're gaining strength. You're looking at where your fears and your anxieties were keeping you bound, and we're allowing you to sell yourself short and allowing other people to take advantage of where you sold yourself short, particularly if there was a couple who are high status around you, like a higher status than you are around you. You're looking at where those fears and anxieties affected that relationship. And you're going to have this personal victory. So then we've got the Five of Pentacles, which talks about lack. And Pentacles are here in the physical world. So it's a lack or a lack mindset in regards to like physical health, in regards to debt, physical possessions like house, car, things like that, basic necessities. Could be a lack of food as well. So the sun is here, and the sun talks about clarity. It talks about growth. It talks about clarity, rebirth, having this new beginning, getting away from this lack, whether it was actual lack, poor health, poor circumstances, or it was perceived lack. So in this card, it's interesting because she's got her head hidden in the tree. She's trying to gain knowledge, but she's not looking towards her growth. She's not looking towards the sun, towards the productivity, towards the better health, the new future, the new life. So there's this, you need to look in a different direction from where you're looking for knowledge. Okay, you're looking for knowledge in one direction. Maybe you're refusing to face circumstances, and you need to look in a different direction. Your growth, your healing, your rebirth is in a different direction. Okay. Now, the Knight of Pentacles and the Hangman were sideways. This is talking about the goals that you have to move towards your health, setting up a practical plan and how you need to change your perspective in your thinking in order to set up that practical plan. Okay? In this plan, notice the bird is flying high near the sun. Here he's chained to a rock, not a tree, but he's chained to a rock and he's all upside down because of it. The rock is solid. Normally the hangman is, in the druidcraft, he's chained, he's tied up to the tree, right? A tree is solid, and it's very strong, but it's also not as barren, not as solid or as strong as a rock. But there is that sun, and the bird is flying into the sun. So when you change your thinking, that's going to free you. Okay, when you start looking in different directions, when you start looking at it in a different way, that's going to help you love yourself more. So there's this goal that you're looking to move towards, and you're kind of stuck in between the thought process and the actual doing, and you're kind of stuck between the old way you were thinking about it and not facing it, and the new way that you're thinking about it and taking that action. Now you need to overcome obstacles. It's your thoughts that are binding you. So you can overcome these obstacles. You can use your spirituality and your spiritual strength to overcome the thoughts that are negative. So we have the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So the Ten of Swords from before and the Eight of Swords. Notice how similar they are, except here we have the Queen, the mother, who is protecting you while you are down, and here you have trapped yourself. The fears and the anxieties, whether they're rational or not, you have trapped yourself with them. And Apollo, the sun, he is just looking at you like, why have you trapped yourself? You have the ability to make this change. You have the ability to tell your fears and anxieties, whether rational or irrational, to go away. You have that strength and that knowledge, and you're getting that clarity on how to shove them away. So why are you staying trapped? That's what Apollo is saying. That's what the sun is saying. The sun is saying, like, why are you staying trapped in this mindset? Why are you not removing yourself, from looking at this tree to looking at the growth, to looking at where you can love yourself, how you can move? And the Six of Swords sideways is saying the same thing as the Hangman and the Knight of Pentacles. It's reiterating that you're in this transitory period, but you're not yet moving forwards. You're not moving towards loving yourself, towards putting your thoughts in a more rational place and allowing those thoughts to overcome that rational thought process, to overcome the emotional turbulence. Okay? So, Two of Pentacles, you see that emotional turbulence, same as on the Six of Swords, right? You see it there, that emotional turbulence, that storm with the two boats, and she's got the two pentacles. She's juggling in this figure 8 pattern under the tree of knowledge. She's juggling those. She's adapted. She doesn't want to look behind her. It's almost, it could be the same person, right? With the red hair. Could be the same person, different gown, but could be the same person. She's almost adapted to this toxic environment, to this environment that's not really safe for her. It's kind of safe, but it's kind of not. And she's not really looking at, because she's so focused on juggling these pentacles, she's not looking at the storm or where the sky is clear and how she can get away from the storm. She's not looking at how she can get away from this juggling and off this treadmill. And then we have Queen of Cups again, about self-love here. This is about self-love. It's about mastering your emotions, nurturing yourself and nurturing your emotions in such a way that it's healthy, that you don't have to adapt to these toxic environments, to this toxic juggling of things. This juggling between like health and career, between two jobs, or between two things here in the physical world. It could be two people even. So this self-love, the Queen of Pentacles, is about choosing yourself first and choosing to get out of whatever this toxic environment where you've been juggling and struggling, to get out of that before that storm comes in. Okay. Page of Swords sideways. In the upright, she talks about understanding, learning more about the way you think and how that affects your ability to love yourself, and healing that, and really having good internal communication, and that being a strength on your new journey. When she's sideways, there could be things that you're allowing, like those fears and anxieties that you're allowing to take over a little too much. They're taking over your thought patterns too much. They're keeping you blocked. You can't see things from different angles. You can't see things from different perspectives. You can't see, the thought that you're unlovable and how irrational that is. If somebody broke up with you, there's just as much a chance that that person is not able to be loved as there is that you are not able to be loved, because there's two of you in the relationship, right? But in a way, there's also more than two people. There's all of your friends, all of your family, there's social media, there's, regular media, there's the culture and society around you, and that has an effect and shapes the relationship. So you can't just be blaming yourself if there was a breakup, right? Because there's, a 50% chance it was the other person. There's, a chance that it was influence from outside people. And that's just, an example of how you could be stuck in not having a good grip over your thinking, right? And how that could be affecting your health, because you're not having this ability to distinguish other viewpoints, to distinguish that things could have happened for other reasons than the reason you suspect. So the reason we assign a certain event to a certain cause, that could be the cause, or it could be from a different cause. We won't always know. We won't always be able to find out. And this page says maybe study the situation a little bit longer, study yourself a little bit longer, try and look at things from different angles, different viewpoints, and that's going to help you heal. Try and have better communication internally, and that's going to help you heal. The Wheel of Fate and the Hermit, going within in order, you see there's a light and a way out, a tunnel out of the darkness. So the Wheel of Fate, the Norns, the weird, the Matrona there is this ability to decide what you keep when you're healing your thinking and looking at how you can love yourself better, how you can improve that. There is this decision you need to make about what to keep in your life and what to let go of, and that will have an effect on what happens in the future. Even though they say this is the card of karma or fate, fate can be changed to a certain extent, right? Even if you're somebody who believes no, it's all predestined, it's all fate, there is wiggle room, right? So changes can be made, even if you're like, well, nobody will ever love me, yada yada, because of this reason. There is wiggle room there. There is somebody who can love you if you're willing to compromise. There is somebody who, you take one step and then you take another step and they take more steps towards you because you took that first step, that first action. They, move closer to you. And it's the same way with self-love. You take a step towards loving yourself and it becomes easier. It becomes easier to stop letting the fears and anxieties, to stop listening to the internal critic or the internal voice that says, no, I'm not good enough. You tell it to shut up once, the next time it comes around, maybe you can't tell it to shut up. It gives you, a little anxiety. You need to deal with that anxiety, so you use a coping mechanism. But then the third time that voice comes around, you're like, no, shut up. I am lovable. And it becomes easier over time to tell that inner critic, that inner fear, that inner anxiety that, no, I'm not listening to you. I know I am lovable. So this wheel of fortune, it's not all set in stone. You can change it. You can decide what to put a boundary on and say, no, I don't want this in my life anymore. And this is going to help me love myself better when I get rid of it. Like the inner critic saying negative things. So the Hermit is also talking, and this particular Hermit looks a lot like the traditional death with the scythe, with the raven. Okay. The Hermit is inner guidance. It's going within and getting inner guidance. And it's guidance on how to change your thinking. You might remember things a certain way, but there is also that saying, much like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the truth is in the eye of the beholder. History is written by the winners, right? There's those sayings and they kind of connect, but who really is the winner? Who really is the beholder? Because truth is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so 3 witnesses can all see one event and they come up with 3 different versions. Maybe some of the details correspond with each other with all 3. Maybe certain details correspond between 2 people, but not the third person. And then these other details correspond between these 2 people, but not this person. So truth is in the eye of the beholder. And when you're looking to change the way that you're thinking about yourself and how you can love yourself more, that a lot of it has to do with what you're telling yourself, what you're thinking, what you're believing, and how you can change those thought patterns, those behavior patterns. this is what the Page of Swords, the Wheel, and the Hermit are talking about. They're talking about going within and deliberately changing the thought patterns. Now then we have, last of all, Queen of Pentacles, nurturing your health, nurturing your mental health, nurturing your physical health so that you can have abundance. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, potential, this ability to love yourself, to change things from within. You have this potential. And then we've got the Six of Wands again, the Sun and the Chariot. So the Six of Wands, this personal victory, using your own spiritual growth, using your willpower, dropping this baggage to have this rebirth, to have this new beginning, to have this growth and this strength. Really looking at your conscious and your unconscious, you see, or your subconscious, you see how they're going in different directions, these horses. This is conscious, subconscious, or shadow side. You hear about shadow work, shadow self. That's what this is representing. So it's representing the ego and the id, right? If you're into psychology. And this charioteer is a soul. It's trying to get these two horses to go in the same direction to guide the chariot. The chariot pulls the sun. Okay? So once you get the two halves of yourself, of your mind, here in the material world, in the physical world, once you get those two to work together, then you can use your willpower, then you can guide yourself. So your conscious mind is saying, no, I love myself just fine. Your subconscious is saying, no, I hate my weight. I'm fat, nobody can love me. I can't love me because I'm fat. And the trick for your soul, your higher self, your higher guidance, is to get the subconscious and the conscious to work together. Okay? To reach this goal of loving yourself better, to have this new beginning, to have this clarity and this rebirth and this personal victory. Okay? To feel comfortable, this is the golden lamb, but it's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, right? That's the victory that you want, to love yourself, to be comfortable in your own skin. And how are you going to do that? You're going to examine those subconscious beliefs, those beliefs in the id that are like knee-jerk reactions, like, oh, somebody didn't sit next to me at lunch, I must be a horrible person. I mean, that's a little bit extreme, but, sometimes people do think that extremely. Maybe the person just didn't want to talk at lunchtime. So they sat, at the other table. They've had a stressful day and they want some downtime away from other people. Nothing to do with you, but subconsciously, it jumps to that, right? And that's happened to everybody. That's pretty common. So, like I said, the trick, in order to nurture yourself, in order to have that abundant mental health and self-love, you need to figure out where this subconscious is going off and why, your conscious is going in the other direction. Much like, this. Why are you looking in one direction and not the other? And then we also, for the Queen of Pentacles, had the Seven of Swords and the Hierophant. So the Seven of Swords It can talk about deception, right? It can talk about somebody stealing something. It can talk about, burning the midnight oil, burning the candle at both ends. Here I'm going to say it's talking about deception and self-deception. Where is there self-deception? Notice the Hierophant, the high priest, is standing in the doorway. Where's their self-deception? And he's half, he's a centaur, so he's half man, half horse. Where's their self-deception going on about things in your life? Things that are half done. It's that Two of Pentacles energy. Things that are halfway, where there's two things that you're struggling to be at the same time. Where is there self-deception about that? Because that's affecting, feeling like you're in the dark and you have to steal away during the night, or you have to hide in the doorway in the dark and not come out into the light, or not even be seen in a window. Where is there that split and that self-deception about how toxic that is? That duality, how toxic that is. In order to nurture your health and nurture your self-love and have that in abundance, you have to deal with that duality. Let's pull, I haven't used this in a while. How to love yourself more. I haven't used this. This is the Kindred Fauna Oracle. How to love yourself more. Ooh, we got 3 cards. And a 4th one almost popped up. Let's see. This one is the Luminary. It came out upside down. It says Fairy Godmother. I mean, there aren't really reversals in this. A guiding light along your path. When you doubt yourself, look into my eyes. I will remind you how worthy you are of blessings, and that yes, you should take another step on your great journey. That's a cute little card, isn't it? Little unicorn there with wings, sort of like a Unipegasus. This one is Manifestation with the stingrays and the moon. Actualization, expression. We leap, we soar. Creatures of the deep, the air sings with vitality around us. Believe in yourself and you can fly beyond your wildest dreams. And then we have the owl, Shadow Flyer. Nice snowy barn owl. Shadow work, wounded. Fly with me to the spirit world, explore your shadows, and learn to love your entire being. I bring the darkness, and then I am the light in the darkness. If tonight my silent wings herald death, prepare for rebirth tomorrow. So very much in keeping with this Hermit card that is like death, right? So this is talking about your transformation. Death card talks about transformation and rebirth, much like the sun. So this is talking about a rebirth and your ability to manifest and grow that self-love. I hope this is helpful to you. Just remember, whatever you're going through, somebody else has gone through it as well. You're not alone. Millions of people are probably going through it right now. At the same time you are, whatever thoughts that you have about yourself, I can guarantee somebody else in history has had those thoughts, and somebody in the current day has also had those thoughts. So take care of yourself. Try to be more kinder to yourself. Get therapy if you need it. Take meds for a while if you need it. I personally don't advocate just taking meds and not getting therapy. It's like putting a Band-Aid on, somebody who has their head cut off at the neck, and you try to put a Band-Aid on it. That's not going to save them. To me, that's what taking a pill is, but not getting therapy. To me, the medications are to help you get through the tough times, and the therapy is what actually helps you get to a better place. You have to deal with the internal stuff. There's no way around it. If you take ways around it, coping mechanisms like eating, shopping addictions, drug or alcohol addictions, smoking, whatever the addiction may be, video games, escaping into books or movies, that just, it puts the Band-Aid on the person with their head cut off. It doesn't actually help. It may even make things a lot worse. Yeah. So I definitely believe you have to do the shadow work. You have to go through that to emerge into the sun. Take care of yourself. Have a great day.